Well, guys, welcome back to the I Love You So Much podcast. I'm your host, Kenzie Elizabeth, and today we have your favorite co-host, Dominique Roberts.
Hey, hey, hey.
I hope you guys are still listening, but we are coming off of probably the best month I think we've ever had
In our lives.
I'm not even kidding.
I'm not kidding. That's for sure.
We have beautifully progressed into the past month of life that we've had. And there were multiple points, I'm not going to lie to you, where I was just so happy, I'm like, I could cry.
I did tear up at times.
Usually
on Mondays.
Yeah, when you're just like so tired.
Just so exhausted, so tired, so full of life, still high from high off of the weekend.
Yeah. Well, Dom came, what was, originally, I think you're supposed to be here for like 5 days, and we're a month out now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she is leaving, but don't worry, she's coming back in like 2 weeks.
I am. Yeah, that's going to be the wildest of times because I have potential business in San Francisco, then business to take care of here in Dallas, then we're off to finish off the year in New York City.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good. I have a list of things that have happened. We're gonna also just kind of take you through, honestly, so many different things. We want to give you like a month recap of the best month of our entire lives, and also the conversations that Dom and I have been having about how we're just so happy. And this time last year, we were both so miserable and depressed. We didn't leave my house literally until February.
Yeah.
January.
The only time we left the house was to go through the Starbucks drive-thru.
Yeah, and Trader. No, we wouldn't even go to the grocery store. We Instacarted everything.
Yeah, no, we didn't. And
we were so sad, and we did have friends. We were just ignoring them. And, now we have way better friends.
way better friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I would argue, I'll speak for myself. I didn't have friends back then.
And now you do.
I have a lot of friends.
So many friends, guys. We have become very popular these days.
Very popular, and I just want to say it's very exhausting having two social lives.
Yeah.
But I have a main one. I'm not going to disclose.
I'm like, which one's your main one?
Well, I'm coming back in 2 weeks. So
be honest, Dom. Tell the truth.
Honestly, I will say Dallas is my main social circle, which is quite concerning because I live in Los Angeles. So.
But you're here all the time.
I'm here, clearly, I'm coming back in 2 weeks. Like, I have not an ounce of fucking shame in my body. I don't have a bone of shame left. After this month, I've lost all shame.
The other day, we were in my car. Actually, I think this was yesterday. And I was just saying, Tom, this is actually so sad looking back on it. But I was just like, it's so crazy. I love my friends so much. I have so much fun all the time. I smile like constantly. And I was being so serious. And then Dom was saying the same thing. And I was like, wait, is this what it means to be happy?
Like, we were like, I don't know why we just laugh so hard.
And we
all
smile.
the time, and I'm so smiley. And I just feel joy around me. And I was like, I think we're just describing happiness.
Yeah.
Just, I haven't felt the emotion, honestly, in a while, so.
Yeah, Dom also got her first pair of cowboy boots, and she listens to country music now.
I do. I think that's really when a lot of the shifts happened in my trip. Like, I think the first time I went to Dallas, I just kind of got my feet a little wet. Mm-hmm. And in this, I think the way to be successful in Dallas and have a very successful life in Dallas is you need to let go of the old and embrace the new. Mm-hmm. Those people I used to be one of them. I'm getting honest now. I used to be one of those people who was like, I don't listen to country music. I don't have a pair of cowboy boots. I'm sad. I'm a loser. Now look at me. I'm hot, popular, have a lot of friends, and it's just embrace.
Was it the cowboy boots?
It was the cowboy boots.
It was the cowboy boots.
But it actually started before the cowboy boots. It started when I got to Texas, and I decided that I was just going to let myself run free, roam wild, and absolutely just run amok in the streets. Starting that night at Skellig is really when I saw
when you kissed the cowboy? Yeah.
Yes, I saw a big shift in my life.
I too saw a big shift in your life.
Big shift.
She also, unrelated to that, did fall in love while she was here.
I did.
And he's not a Dallas man, and that's why she isn't moving yet. But the second that she does find love, she will be back.
Yeah. I told Kenzie, if I do find love in Texas, nothing's holding me back.
She said I wouldn't even return.
I wouldn't even return.
Mm-hmm.
I would just sublet.
What does it feel like being in love these days?
It's depressing. It's not good.
It's not good.
I mean, here's the thing, you guys. The love that Kenzie's referring to is maybe a little one-sided right now, okay? Because I fell in love watching someone do what they do best, and I just have so much admiration and care.
Last night, guys, listen to this story. Dom has not an ounce of shame. We're on Instagram Live with my sister. Dom, my sister, the two most, what's the word I'm looking for?
We were just being inappropriate last night.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something that isn't offensive to say. Like,
we were just like off the cuff.
Yes, out of their minds when it comes to guys.
We're completely unhinged when it comes to men. We've derailed.
So we're on Instagram Live, and they're talking about how they're gonna, Dom is talking about how she's gonna text her ex. And she's gonna be like, oh my god, I'm going to LA, like I'm gonna be so depressed and lonely, and like all my friends are gonna have so much fun and whatever. So naturally she goes to text her ex if he wants to go. Did he reply, by the way?
Yeah, we have plans on Wednesday.
Okay, well anyways, so they're making those plans. She's saying this on Instagram, like, by the way, there was 4,000 people on this live when I got off. Had no idea. All of a sudden, the guy that she's talking about as a friend, this person gets on the live in messages, and then Dom goes, oh my god, you know everything that I was just saying, I was totally kidding, like, I actually am over my ex, like, I don't like him at all.
Yeah.
And then she was like, Kenzie, tell him I'm in love with him, Kenzie. Like, she literally wanted me to say it on live.
Yeah, and the thing is like, now, thinking back on it, you're actually a really bad friend. Because I just think that maybe that would have been an opportunity to, like, voice some feelings and, like, voice the way I've been feeling, and like, you
on my Instagram Live in front of 4,000 people.
You are closer to said person than me. And I just felt like that was your place.
Should we just give him a call on the podcast?
Oh my gosh, should we?
Yeah. I'll say round 2.
Oh my gosh, I'd be like, mute that.
Just do a little censor over it, if you will.
Yeah, just can you censor that name? So hard. I just, like, think that you should try and set something up.
Okay, but, like, how do I go about setting that up?
I don't know. Can you just be like, hey, like, I just want to see, like, if you're single right now, I have someone really great for you.
You already met her, actually.
You've actually already met her.
I'm pretty sure he is single right now.
Yeah, like, honestly, even if he just wanted to, like...
In the field that he's in, though, girls fling themselves at him all the time, so who knows?
Honestly, it's embarrassing because I'm one of the girls who are... Look at me. I'm flinging my...
Dom,
flinging and flung.
Dom has 2 personalities. You have Dom, aka Dom, and then you have Dom with a boy. Dom with a boy, her personality is just mute. It's gone. You would think that she's just this sweet little angel who has really nothing to say.
And you would think I'm really shy, too. I become so shy. Like...
No, we were with this guy, and Dom was... I mean, they were so funny. Like, we were, like, dying.
Yeah.
And Dom, nothing mute. I did not say anything.
I did so mute because I'm like, I don't know how to, like, express myself in this setting. It's really hard for me. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of also why I friend zone everyone. Because it's like, if you're my friend and you can, like, take me for who I am, like, all the craziness, the wild inappropriateness of me, you could take that for what it is as a friend, then you could also take me as a lover. You know what I mean?
But the problem with you is that you friend zone them to the point where it's, like, way too...
That seems like their own problem that they need to get over.
Really? I don't think so. I think that's a you problem,
No,
Dom.
it's okay, Kenzie. You just don't understand that one. And that's okay.
Well, I dated friends, but I didn't friend zone myself.
I don't friend zone myself either.
You call them dude, bro, and you literally, like, give them knuckles.
Okay.
What do you call that then?
I can't do that to my boyfriend because that's what I want to do. I don't
Well,
want to
maybe once you make him your boyfriend, after that.
Dude, bro, knuckles? Yeah. Like, why? But I also just want to do that now. That's what I mean. Take me or leave me. And clearly they've been leaving me. So don't know what that's all about. Have plans with my ex on Wednesday, so let you guys know how that goes.
Dom actually summoned all of my ex-boyfriends that were even possible to run into. Guys, if you're watching the vlogs, I'm not kidding. We didn't realize it until after, but Dom sat there and we were, doing our affirmations of, this will be the best day ever. We will have fun. This video that we're gonna film will be the funniest video ever, which, by the way, if you guys haven't seen the video of me turning Dom into a Texan, I promise you it's the best thing you'll ever see. I'm not even gonna. I'm not kidding. It really is the funniest thing you'll ever see.
Yeah.
Go watch it. But yeah, and in the process of it, this little witch Dom over here literally goes, I don't know. What did you say actually?
And I said, and we're gonna run into Kenzie's exes.
And what did we do?
We ran into literally all of your exes in Dallas.
Yeah, the one that I never see.
The one that you never see, and the one that we see about every 3 months.
I see him actually pretty frequently.
You see him pretty frequently, but I mean like actual interactions.
Yeah, it went way too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just something else. Like, Dom is also a witch.
Yeah, and I think, you kind of hound me for texting my ex, but it's just like, Maddie made a really great point, which is I don't spend the weekend with my ex.
I would hardly, sorry, what is happening? Are we in New York City? I would hardly call it spending the weekend with my exes, Dom.
Do you want to, I'll give you one more chance to rephrase that.
No, seriously. Anyways.
You are such a filthy liar.
What else do we have? Oh, yeah, so we realized that we're happy. We also are girls. This has been such a good trip since, I would say
Since Margot.
Well, no, I was going to say since, March, I've had such a good group of girlfriends in Dallas.
Yeah.
And this was the first time Dom really, got to hang out with them more than, a night.
Yeah.
And we just all got so close, and we truly are girls.
I love the gals.
We love the gals.
And I think that's also another thing, too. It's you can't do anything without the girls.
Yeah.
Everything must be done with the gals or not at all.
I also think in your 20s, I think in general, girlfriends are so important. I don't think there's ever going to be a time where, girlfriends are not important. But especially in your 20s, I was actually thinking about this when we were just talking about being girls. Everyone that I know who is, not everyone that I know. A lot of people that I know who are really unhappy and, feel lonely and, they don't have a life or friends or whatever. It's because those are the people who are, chasing after relationships and not building, the girl friendships that you'll have for, way longer.
And here's the thing, too. I love to chase, I actually don't chase relationships, not really.
Yeah, not really.
At all, actually. But I will say that I think that it's just so much more important to have, really good, nothing's worse than chasing after a relationship and then, okay, let's say, end goal's the altar, right? You guys are married, you guys are getting married, and there's, no one to invite in the wedding because you neglected all of your friends to chase after, let's not forget, well, I'm assuming a hetero relationship, a man. Shame on you.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, that was harsh.
It was a little harsh, honestly.
Was it though?
Yeah.
It was the cold hard truth.
I think you are just projecting because you felt annoyed by a situation that happened, so now you're taking it out on these poor innocent listeners. And I think that in order to continue to gain listeners, we should maybe be a little bit nicer.
I'm just kidding, you guys. There's no shame here on this podcast. There's only loving conviction. No, I'm just kidding. No, but in all seriousness, I do think that is a real reason why this trip was so much fun. And it's just in every waking moment, we were always just planning something with the gals. Bachelor nights, our weekends, dinners, Tay-Swift parties.
Inviting ourselves over to their houses.
Yeah, forcing our way through their doors.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? We get questions. I get questions all the time on how do I have so many friends, and simply because I invite myself over to their house. I think that's what it is. And I give them free clothes.
Normalize inviting yourself over.
Yeah. Normalize inviting yourself over. I couldn't agree more.
Normalize also being happy.
Normalize being happy, guys. And we will talk about that more. Actually, yesterday, Dom and I, again, were talking, and we were just saying how, I don't know, I feel like sometimes when I find myself feeling happy, I almost put myself, I almost put more pressure on myself and think like, oh, that means I'm just in my comfort zone, or I have to try harder, or I'm not working enough, or I'm not this, or I'm not that, or I end up putting like more pressure on myself to like add more to my life because for whatever reason, if I'm happy, I think that I'm like not working enough.
Yeah.
Which is like so backwards.
And also I was like telling Kenzie too, I do think just in our careers and also just being super young and having so many people in so many different places that you're constantly just looking around to make sure you're on track. And Kenzie was just bringing up a big point, and she was like, I just want my life to be like consistent and fall into place in areas and just like on track, but you don't need to be the biggest or the best or whatever. And I was just saying, like, I do think that sometimes when we fuel ourselves with comparison, we also fuel ourselves with greed, like the greed of like, oh, I just need to make more, I need to do more, I need to like, you know what I'm saying? And that can take away so much joy. And I think like in our career, like it's really easy to do that, but I think it's also really easy to do that just in general. And I think that's where a lot of my most recent unhappiness has been linked to. And I think it's just been linked to the fact that like, you know, trying to fill my plate, trying to make sure that I'm like busy enough, whatever. And I think that's why this past month has been so special, because I've just been able to like let go, let my freak flag fly. And that's what's just made everything so special, instead of like this pressure of like, oh, I need to make sure I'm doing this or doing that. And it's like, yeah, okay, we're working, we're twerking, but we're also having a ball.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of pressure to, it's like, oh, you need to be in LA, you need to be hanging out with this certain crowd of people, you need to be doing this. Like, I have a friend that I, like, love to death, but this person's very, like, you know, we always, I don't know how to say this, like, only hangs with people who can benefit them career-wise.
Yeah.
Or socially, or whatever that is, and that is just, like, at the end of the day, that is not me. Like, I feel, like, those are not even the people that I even want to be around.
Yeah.
But there's so much pressure, especially even in, like, the self-help business world of, you are your 5 best friends, you are this, you are that, which is true, and I think it's important, but, like, that, I think where, like, hustle culture comes in and where the social, like, clout chasing stuff comes in is, like, I think that is misconstrued for they need to be in the same career field, or they need to be doing this, or they need to be doing that, and, like, my friendships here, my life here is so fulfilling to me in a different way, but like way more fulfilling, and I want my life to feel good. Oh, I have friends all over the place, but I would just say like I am really fulfilled here, but then I guilt myself because I'm like, well, maybe I should be doing this, or maybe I should be in like going and doing more work-wise, or I should be doing this or that, and I feel like it's this never-ending cycle of like, okay, but I actually am just happy, but then I'm like, okay, but am I just too comfortable?
Yeah, but then, but I want to challenge, like, what's wrong with being comfortable? You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, there's problems with it. The uncomfortable. But here's the thing. I think it's uncomfortable to feel comfortable. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, the pressure that we feel to perform, like, that's not what life is all about. Like, life is actually the moments where we're at the bar till 2 a.m. having fun with our friends, getting dinner, going shopping, like, just doing the normal things. Like, we don't, like, live to work. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's, like, what life feels like. You're like, oh, I need to get dinner with so-and-so to connect about whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, like, at what point is, like, even going out and, like, networking or whatever, like, it starts to lose its, I don't know, its value. And I just believe in natural networking.
Same. I'm also a very relational person.
Yeah.
And I can't fake it. Like, if I don't click with someone, then I don't click with someone, and I'm not gonna, like, force something.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, too, you know, I mean, most of the people that I hang out with, we're all from the same hometown. And we were talking about this weekend. My hometown, it's unlike anything before. It's not a small town. It's a very, very, very big city. But for whatever reason, we formed such great friendships there to literally people I haven't even hung out with in like 7 years that I'm back to hanging out with now. It's like you never stopped. and like at large, everyone hangs out together and is just so close. And it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, you don't leave your hometown, like these people are like losers and aren't doing anything. It's just like, for whatever reason, our hometown is very, very odd in the sense that people just stay friends. And it's been like that forever. And I didn't realize how abnormal that was until I moved to LA. And there was definitely a time when I was younger, I was like so, I don't know, like I was like, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I didn't really feel like I connected because like I wasn't just, I don't know, I just like was isolating myself, I think.
Yeah.
And in a way, actually, me moving to Dallas was like a risk and was a really uncomfortable thing because that's not ever what I expected to happen. And it was the best thing that I've ever done. And I've never been happier, and I've never been more fulfilled with relationships and friendships. And I think in LA, like I have so many friends that I adore and I love there. And like when I'm there, it feels like home. When I'm with my friends, it feels like the same. But there was just something missing in my life there, and I don't really know what it I can't like put my finger on it. But all I know now is that this was the right move.
Yeah, and I've definitely been able to like witness it and become a part of it being in Dallas for like,
Dom is like literally part of our hometown. Like she
No.
actually knows every single person that I grew up with at this point.
and what's so funny is like every time I kept meeting Kenzie's friends, like I just started lying. I just started lying and being like, "Oh, you don't remember me from middle school?" And yeah, I just like also normalized lying a little bit.
Normalized lying, yeah.
But no, I was like, yeah, like you guys, like you don't remember when I was at whatever middle school? And they were like,
Yeah, and she's lying to them. So
I was
and they're
lying to
also
them.
like literally so nice, and now they feel
so
horrible.
nice, so beautiful people, the most beautiful people ever. And yeah, no, I do agree. I think also I feel the pressure all the time, like especially being new to the space of, you know, social media, whatever. It's definitely really easy to find your place. It's like really hard. Sorry, what I'm trying to say, it's really hard to find your place. And I think that stepping away, like going to Dallas this month and just allowing myself to just be and not challenging myself to, oh, like, have you reached out to so-and-so in a while? Like, what are you doing right now? Like, what's the next thing you're working on? What, you know? And instead, I'm just hanging around people who, I don't know, like, are accountants, work in sales, like, just very, like, normal, nice, like, so far removed from what I do. And it just kind of made me realize that the moments in life that I look forward to have nothing to do with you know, growing an account or starting a new business venture or anything, but the moments in life that I look forward to and the moments in life, even this past year with all the cool shit that I've done, it's really, I think the reason why this past month has been so special is because the most fun I've had has literally had nothing to do with my career. And I think that really said a lot about my mindset and mentality towards, I don't know, work and that unhealthy boundary sometimes that we can have on ourselves, on other things. This can tie into so many different aspects, but just that overall unhealthy pressure that we all feel to, I don't know, perform and do all that shit, you know?
It also makes me think about not only the person that I want to be, but also the life that I want to live. I have made very drastic changes in my life in the past year, and I've grown so much and I've changed so much, and I can get like emotional about it because I'm actually now so proud of myself and where I'm at. Earlier this year, you know, it was, again, no secret how much I hated being 23. Worst time. It was a fun time. I had great times during that year, but being 23, it just sucks. Like, I was so confused. I was so uncertain. I was changing what I wanted in life. Before that, I was so narrow, like tunnel vision on what I thought I wanted. Not narrow-minded at all, but like tunnel vision. Like, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. This is the kind of person I want to be. This is who I want to be with. And slowly but surely, I started like unpacking all of that and realized that none of it was true. Like, that was not what I wanted in the slightest. And even to the point where when I started like hanging out with certain people or like dating other people and things like that, it was so hard for me because I thought for so long I knew exactly what I wanted, which is so stupid. I was 22. But I had a really, really hard time with even just like dating a different kind of person. even now I would say that's way more of what I want, and that was like really good. But it was like a mind fuck almost, because I was like, no, I know what I want, or a group of people had told me for so long this is what I needed to want, and I just didn't relate to that anymore. And so when I stopped relating to that and connecting to that, I felt like I didn't relate to myself anymore, and I had to kind of like almost like find myself in a way. And I am more myself than I've been in so long, and I feel so good. But like this summer, honestly, I was so confused. I had no idea where I was. I had no idea what I wanted. And I don't know exactly what has shifted. Maybe it's time, maybe it's therapy, maybe it's just the relationships around me, but I feel so much more me, and like I'm actually like stable and steady, and I'm like, no, this is actually what I want. It's okay that I don't want what I wanted before, but that was such a hard time. And honestly, I'm sure there's so many people listening to this who grew up in like the church and things like that and can probably relate, but it was so hard for me to let go of like what other people told me that I needed to want, because that's just not what I wanted, and that's also like not who I was. And so I felt like for so long I was like fighting against who I was like deep down at the end of the day. I don't know what I've changed in my life other than like fully being myself. I really don't know. Maybe like stopping caring about like a certain group of people's expectations. I really don't know what it is, but I just feel so much more like grounded.
Yeah. I will say though, I think a lot of that has to do with just deciding to unlearn.
Yeah.
Unlearn. Like that is so important to be okay with unlearning and changing. Like I think that's the hardest part of change, is sometimes like even going to therapy, like I think that's just a huge part of therapy, is you're just unlearning like the toxic things that like you grew up believing about yourself, or if you were in a toxic setting, like you're unlearning like, I don't know, the toxic things that were like put into your mind in that like unhealthy setting. Like there's so much to unlearning that we don't give credit to about like how hard it is. And I think for me, when it comes to change, like how I felt, a lot of that was because I had such a hard time coming to terms with the fact that, wow, for a lot of my, young adult life, I believe this to be true and completely true and nothing outside of this, or this is what I want and exactly how I want it to be. And then when that changed for me and I was like, actually, I don't want this. And even now I'm going through like a huge transition, and I was like sobbing about it to Kenzie, because I was literally so scared to let go, because I was so scared to let go, because I thought if I let go of this, then like what will I have for myself? And I think I've forgotten that I've also created something out of nothing. Mm-hmm. And if I've done it once, like I can do it again. And I think we have this innate fear that our lives will like amount to nothing. Like it's just, young existential crisis.
We're also Enneagram 3s. But
yeah. Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like that's my innate fear in life. And so it's really hard to kind of have that off switch or allow myself to go down a different path. And so I think that was kind of one of the most powerful things. And like I think operating in the unlearning process and like being okay with change more and more, and also just never settling for stuff that makes me unhappy. I think all of those things have really helped me come into a place of finding myself and being okay with new things. Because now I think the difference is like going through this new transition that I'm about to like step into career-wise. I would have been in panic mode, and now I've just kind of been asking myself, well, like, what do you want to do? And like, what are some things of interest to you? Things like that and of that nature. And I don't know, normalize it. Normalize changing your mind.
I feel like every time we're on like a microphone, we always talk about whatever, and also because Dom and I have gone through one specific thing that's similar. So, and we always talk about how we both have like changed our minds. And I mean, even Dom showed a photo of us in college like 4 years ago probably. And I just don't connect with that person. I don't relate to that person. I don't know who that was. I don't know who that was. I only know Kenzie at Skellig. It's the only Kenzie I know. That's the only Kenzie I want to know.
I only know Dom at Skellig.
Yeah. I've excommunicated. I'm just kidding. Like, we were fine then. It's just...
We were just so young and so impressionable.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we're still young and impressionable now, of course, but I think just going through a really intense... I don't know, we just had a really intense, like, the start of our 20s were really intense.
Really?
Like,
intense.
just really intense. And, like, we went through, like, a really intense program. And we also have moved and moved back and moved all over. So, just so many intense transitions back to back to back kind of put you in a place of questioning your whole entire life and existence.
Yeah, and the thing, too, about your 20s in general is I feel like everyone is just so confused and no one knows what they're doing. And that's really important. Like, another thing, when Dom and I were in my living room, we were laughing one second, the next second, Dom is crying, I'm crying, we're talking about something. It was just really something. But Dom was like, oh, well, I feel like, which I've said this about so many people, like, Dom's like, oh, well, like, I see this and, like, they have this, or like, comparison, or looking at someone that you deem, like, in quotes, more successful. And then you forget that, like, there are people who you view someone as that, and then someone probably views you as that. And again, like, for the most part, you only see people's highlight reels, which I actually think is an okay thing. Like, I don't think we need to always, unless you want to and you process that way, I don't think you need to, like, spill your guts out to every single person, especially when you have a platform. Like, that's so many people who are involved, and I think that that's been an added layer for me with changing my mind, because it's like, I've said these things, regardless, whether, it doesn't matter what it is, since I was 16, like, I have been on the internet, and I'm 24 now, and obviously I've changed so much, but because I've, like, put myself on the internet, I feel like there's that added layer of, like, accountability of people, like, holding me to who I once was.
Yeah.
And that's also something I've stopped caring about. And another thing is, I feel like just not allowing any sort of, like, box around my life and who I want to be, or what I think I need to be, or what I think I need to do, has been so helpful. And it's difficult because when you are around anyone, I think in general, like, on social media, whatever it is, there's always people who are, like, trying to, like, put their opinions on you and whatever. I don't know, I think I was a little more people-pleasing than I realized at that time. It's really easy to, like, lose yourself in that, and stepping back and allowing myself to realize that, like, the things that are important to me aren't necessarily important to other people, and that's okay. And just because one of my friends thinks that I need to like, clickbait every single video, go out to LA, only be there, only talk to people who they deem worthy based off a follower count, whatever that is their life, and that's fine for them, but that's not what I want. And while, yes, it would probably benefit my career, I just can't bring myself to do that. Like, for whatever it is, I think authenticity is, like, the most important thing to me, and I just can't do it. I cannot bring myself to do it. I can't.
Well, I think also for me, like, authenticity is how I came into the internet. So it's like it's like I can't even come in any other way than being authentic.
Yeah.
And, like, if you, like, meet me in person, whatever, like, I'm the exact same still. And I don't know, I think there's realness to that, because, you know, there does get to a point where you kind of have to cross some lines and some boundaries to, you know, like, jump and, like, get to places sometimes. And that's not always the path. Like, sometimes the path can be pure, but depending on how fast you want to get there, like, there can be aspects of that. And I don't know, Kenzie and I were talking about it last night, and I was just like, I just can never do that.
I can't do it. It's not me.
And it's just, I think it's, at the end of the day, it's like, I'll never value a career over integrity. And not saying, like, you know, if someone chooses a networking dinner over the movies with their friends, like, our priorities are just different. I'll always choose the movies with my friends.
I'll always choose people over advancing
real
my
people
career,
that I actually genuinely connect with and love. You know, and which is also why I'm flying back to Dallas. Like, we're having a Christmas party with our friends in Dallas. And I'm like, I value that. Like, those times to me are so precious, so valuable. Like, I don't care. Like, I'll stop whatever I'm doing for real, authentic, quality time with friends that I know that love and care about me if I worked at Starbucks or if I was like on social media. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get DMs too all the time about friendship, and like I think one, it's because our friendship is so like publicly online, but also I just am always with friends, and they're like, how do you make friends in your 20s? How do you do that? How do you like the common theme is like everyone wants friends in my DMs, and it's always advice. So when I think about that too, as far as like living life, like again, I could literally cry because I love my life so much. I love the people I'm around. I love what I do for a living. I love where I live. I love my house. I love my family. Like I love everything about my life, right? But I also have to remember, like, there are so many people who would, I am so lucky when it comes to the friends that I have. I don't think I would have the friendships that I have at this point if it wasn't people that had known me since way before I even started YouTube stuff. Like, we don't even talk about that. That's the thing. Like, this stuff doesn't even exist when I'm with them. It's never, ever, ever talked about. And unless, like, someone comes up or something. But we just, I don't know, like, I have to remember on the other end, it's like there are so many people who would kill for that, and to have that in their life, or like having that many amazing, incredible friends, or even just like our friendship, you know? And I think to me, like, I will always take that over advancing my career. And like for so long I just thought that was wrong, and I was like, no, like I need to be working, I need to be doing this, I need to be doing that. And like, no, I don't. Like, what if I just do things that make me happy? I'm still working, I have an incredible career, I have worked my ass off, but like at the end of the day, I don't want to like,
I don't want to look back and see all the missed opportunities for like genuine connection and like real friends and people, you know?
Yes.
I think I fully agree with that. And I think that's why I've been just so appreciative of my time here, because I feel as though all I've been able to do is just, I don't know, it almost feels, even though we've been working the whole time, it literally has just felt like a huge break.
But when we work together and like we're filming videos and we're recording podcasts and stuff, it is so fun.
It's so fun. Like, it's
like,
work.
Please, someone give us a show. I'm not kidding.
No,
I'm
genuinely not kidding.
Anyone.
Because it's fun. Like, it's so much fun. It's hard work. Like, we're out all day. We're going to different locations. We have like different things. But at the same time, it's like working with someone that you like love and care about, and also understands you, is just like nothing like it. Yeah. Which is also why I feel like we don't have conflict, really.
Yeah, I don't think we do. We were talking about this yesterday, and like we really don't.
I mean, we
don't
have, like,
hold back.
We also don't hold back. Like, Kenzie would be like, "Get your shoes out of my room," and I'm like, "I'm gonna get my shoes out of your room." Like, it's, you know.
There's also things though where like we just know each other so well that it's like I'll just do it, or like I'll do like whatever it is, that it's like not a big deal.
Yeah, and also I think we've just been really good at being able to bend to each other in the sense that like, where I lack, like, Kenzie shows up for me, and I don't know, Kenzie, I feel, I don't know, I don't know if you lack as much as I do.
Shut up.
But if you, I'm sure there's been times.
Yeah, no, there's definitely times.
You know, so, yeah, there's just different times. Actually, where you lack, I come in. I'm thinking specifically in karaoke.
I feel like I'm good at karaoke.
Yeah, but
you know what the best part about going out is, guys? It's not, I mean, the nights are really fun, don't get me wrong, but it's like the day after. It's the recaps. You gotta call.
Recaps.
I had my 2 girls that I FaceTime immediately when I wake up. We went to the boys' house all day, just sat on the couch, recapped a lot, and I stirred the pot that weekend. I'll be the first to admit it, and so I had a lot of explaining to do. But it was one of my best schemes that I've ever pulled off, and that's saying something because I can scheme.
We schemed hard that weekend.
We really did.
Yeah, a lot of scheming had to be done Halloween weekend. Then what was the next weekend?
Okay, so the next weekend, this was the best one. It was the Trey Lewis, Olivia O'Brien weekend. We've had a lot of concerts actually recently.
Oh my gosh.
How was it only like last week?
And I went to a concert on that Monday. Yeah. By myself.
So Trey Lewis, if you guys haven't listened to that episode, it was so good. Please go listen to it. We love him. We went to like a private show yet. It wasn't a concert. I mean, it was a concert, but it wasn't like open to the public.
Yeah.
It was literally like an SMU.
It was a private little event for me.
Yeah, it was for Dom only. And then we hung out with them, and it was just so much fun. Like, I can't even describe to you how much fun that night was. Again, went to bed at 4 a.m.
Yeah, anarchy.
Always. I have a problem, guys. Like, I do not know when to send myself home. I don't send myself home, actually.
I honestly don't. The only reason we sent ourselves home that night was because one of our friends was leaving, and I was like,
we should probably leave.
Yeah, I was like, this probably feels appropriate. It's like 2 a.m. Like, we should get off the, like, kick us off the tour bus.
We were just having so much fun. And then the next night, so our friend Drew Mack also has been on the podcast, go listen to that episode, was opening for Olivia O'Brien in Dallas. And I had already gone to their last Dallas thing. It's a tradition at this point. So then we went to that. My sister was there. We saw Drew, love him, so much fun. And then that night was really where things got out of hand. I fell asleep at 7 a.m. Guys, I swear to God, I don't do drugs. I went to bed at 7.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
We may have ran into someone's ex.
Yeah, it was wild. No, who's... Delete that. Exit.
No,
I don't...
Keep it in.
We ran into some old friends, if you will. And it was so much fun. Like, I can't even describe to you. We went... After the concert, we went to meet up with other friends. We went to another bar. Before you know it, everyone's at my sister's house. And it was just really fun.
Why is that night, like, blacked out to me?
You don't remember that?
All I remember is being at the last place.
We went to Hero, then Alma Club, and then my sister's house. It was just really fun. I went to bed at 4 p.m. on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, you did.
But, like, that was one of my favorite weekends ever.
That weekend was phenomenal.
It was just such a good weekend. You know when there's just something in the air and life just feels right? That's how life feels now. This past weekend, this one was good. We hosted a Red pregame. How did you feel about that, Dom? Dom's also a Swiftie these days.
I'm a Swiftie. Proud Swiftie.
Tell them about watching All Too Well.
I literally watched All Too Well in tears. I was mourning for Taylor. I was like crying over how hot Dylan O'Brien was, and I wanted to beat the shit out of Jake Gyllenhaal.
Wow.
Jake, gynecologist.
Yeah.
Anyways, so it was really good. Then upstairs, of course, we were playing only strictly Taylor Swift. Then slowly, of course, turned into an early 2000s karaoke situation.
Well, we set up my projector. If you guys haven't seen this TikTok, we decorated the whole rooftop.
Yes.
We had probably like 20 people go.
Yeah,
maybe
it was
more.
Gorge.
It was so much fun.
It was so much fun, and of course the night did not end there.
Of course not.
We went to Skellig, and things got rowdy there.
They did. What about Louis Louise? That was the next night.
Yeah, Louis Louise was the next night. But that night at Skellig was like, I'm not kidding.
Again, went to bed at 3 a.m.
Went to bed at 3 a.m., laughed my absolute ass off that whole night, because it almost just felt like a fever dream. I fell in love there too. Well, not at Skellig, but at this other bar, High Fives. There was a worker, this guy who was working. He was so freaking hot. And I was like, of course, drunk in love, literally drunk in love, featuring Beyonce. And I saw him and I was like, please be mine. But then I didn't get to talk to him because, you know. Anyways, the next day, we went to Louis Louis Piano Bar.
And Dom, so Louis Louis Piano Bar, if you live in Dallas, it's so fun. It is, oh my God, I'm obsessed with it. And Dom we were getting drinks upstairs and then we had tables downstairs. And the first drink she got upstairs was like $6. And then the drinks downstairs are more expensive because there's like a server coming.
That's not true.
No, I actually know for a fact that is why they're more expensive.
No, because also someone bought me a drink first, and their tab was it was 2 ranch waters and a vodka.
So it was cheaper.
No,
more expensive.
And their tab was like 35 or something like that.
So basically, Dom was like, oh, which is true. The server upstairs had a crush on Dom, and Dom this was her wild night, goes, oh my God, Kenzie, the guy upstairs has a crush on me. I'm gonna have to go get his number. He gave me my drink for $6. I have to go upstairs. Don't let me forget. But you forgot.
I forgot.
I also let you forget on accident. I'm sorry about that.
You're so...
I'm sorry.
Disrespectful. See, are you guys seeing this theme? I find love, and Kenzie lets it fall through the cracks.
I don't know if that's what happened. I just was not, I don't know, I'm sorry. That was on me, that's my bad.
Yeah. Oh.
Maybe you could have fallen in love and you would never leave Dallas.
Exactly. Like, see, those are things you don't think about.
Yeah.
So now I'm leaving tomorrow.
Yeah, so there's more drama.
Yeah, so, there's more drama.
Yeah. Well, anyways, it's been the best month ever. And I just want to say I'm so happy. And it took a while to get here. But just keep trying. Like, invest in your life and your life will love you back. Something like that, you know?
Yeah. Life has a way of showing up and showing out.
Showing up and showing out. Do you have any final words?
My final words are just live, laugh, love.
Yeah, live, laugh, love. Is that the title of today's episode?
Kind of think so.
Oh my god. Alright, well, you guys can find Dom at Dom Roberts with an X on Instagram. Show notes will be below. Today's episode was a swap, so you guys can listen to that episode on Dom's podcast, The Uncomfortable. I hope you guys are having the best day. I wanted to just do a nice little chill BFF catch-up episode. So, we love you guys so much.
Love you guys so much.
And we'll talk to you next Thursday.
I'll talk to you next Thursday.